proper book review, but first, 2 exciting things is one, I moved some books so that I can fit them all like this again so it doesn't look ugly, because I have a shelf in the other room that my parents gave me because they thought it looked really bad, so I've moved some books all over the place, but I've got room again. And the other thing is I finally redid my hair. Oh my god, it's so good to be like really red again and have it all up here, and oh my god, look at this bit. What's that bit of hair just in the wrong spot? But it's just so good, and it's really like, it's just nice to have it really red again, and it just feels weird to me now because I haven't had it like this red for like months because I got my ears pierced. I've gone to sleepers, but I just was waiting ages to actually dye my hair because I was worried the dye was going to get like stuck up behind the studs. That's the one. I have not had my ears pierced for long, so I don't know the lingo yet, but it's so great just to have my hair back. And I had to use 2 bottles of hair dye because my hair is actually getting so long, like it's not even in the shot no more. It's crazy, but I'm gonna keep growing it because I like having long hair, and it's like I'll go through stages of wanting long hair then wanting short hair, and I'll keep flipping between the two. But those are my 2 updates in my life. But to get onto the video, I'm gonna be reviewing this trilogy, and I can't believe I finally did it. I read the whole fucking thing. So this trilogy is the 3rd trilogy in the Yelena Chronicles of Ixa whatever series, and the books that consist in this trilogy are Shadow Study, Night Study, and Dawn Study, and these are all by Marie V. Schneider, and this was one of my anticipated reads, and I did it. I did it. It took me like 2 months to read 6 books because I was reading other things at the time, but I finally did it. I feel like my life is complete now that I have finished this, even though I failed all my goals. Like technically this was not a goal, but I mean it sort of could be because I had to read 5 books to get to this book, and I did it. I finally read the whole thing, and like really this month I was thinking I'd try and read a few more books, and I've literally only read 3 books this month, and it was including of this book and this book, but I finished this series, and I'm just like, thank god I finished a 9-book series. A 9-book series, like what even? I'm doing it. Oh fuck! But I'm doing a trilogy review because there's just no time to film 3 videos, and that's why I didn't do the same thing for the Spy Girls trilogy, because I had to film that before I filmed about this, because this is like stuff that's about the last 2 series. So if you haven't read the first 2 series, don't watch this, but generally, who even has watched all of them? I'm just doing this for peace of mind because I need to film, I like to film reviews for my anticipated reads, and this anticipated read is in part of this whole gazillion book series, but I'm excited to get started, so let's do it. Also probably going to be spoilers for the whole entire trilogy anyway, so just, you know, be prepared, but probably not going to speak too much about it because it's 3 books and I'm probably not going to remember everything, but still I'm excited. I started off with Shadow Study here. It was so much better than Spyglass just because Yelena and Abbeyleec are in it, and it was their point of views, and Janka had a point of view, and I was I can't even, like, I seriously, Yelena and Abbeyleec are the reason this series is great. So when it went to Opal and we only saw Yelena a little bit and then Abbeyleec came into it a little bit, it was just like, no one gives the shit about you, Opal. I care about these characters, and I actually liked Opal a lot more when she was the side character, but I still can't get over Devlin because of what he did to her. Like, they're all happy, and I'm like, how can you be happy with this guy? I just don't understand it. I just can't. Like, I mean, I can't disconnect because now he's like this nice guy character, and before he was a shit guy character, so it's practically 2 different people, but I just can't disconnect from the shitty things that he did. So it's just, I can't do it. This book was just great, and it started off with Yelena losing her magical powers and people trying to assassinate her, and Abbeyleec trying to get to the bottom of this, and it was really interesting too because, like, I mean, I hate it because it's like practically they're so long distance. Like, Abbeyleec even said that in the 9 years that they've been together, they've probably only spent 2 years actually together, and the rest of the time they've been apart. So like 2 years, like they'd have like a week there and a week there and a week there, and then a year would go past, and they probably only saw each other like once that year, but you know, kind of thing. But it's still so sad that they're so much apart a lot, and I'm just like, come on. But that's why we needed the multiple perspective in this book, because they were apart and what they were doing is really important. But I also enjoyed it too because with Abbeyleec's point of view of this book, we got to see his backstory of how he became the person he did and how he became the assassin, and like went to his assassin school, and then he was trying to like kill the commander, and then he killed the king, and just how they became friends and buddies, and then up until he met Yelena. And it was really interesting having that like talk from him because like we never really knew too much about Abbeyleec's backstory, and then like just so many things are actually happening in this book, and I really enjoyed it. But this one was definitely setting up for what was to come, because like shit got intense, okay? Everything got so intense. But the best thing about this book is at the end when Yelena's like, bitch, I'm pregnant, and I'm like, what? Oh my god, yes. like 20 something and Abbeyleec's like 40 something, still can't get over that, but they are old enough. Sorry, there's birds outside my window. They are old enough to have a baby, but probably won't have too many more babies, I don't know, because they're getting so old. Like, they're seriously so old, and it's just weird, but I did enjoy it, and we got to see more of Leaf, and we saw Janko and Ari, and then we got more of Mara and just everyone, but it was just an interesting book, but definitely set up, but I gave it 4 stars. Then this is a book where it started to get intense, and it was really sweet because Abbeyleec just was so happy that Yelena was pregnant. He's just like, oh my god, yes! Yes, we're gonna have a baby! We're gonna have a baby and be in love and happy, and I'm just like, thank god. And we didn't have it confirmed until like halfway through the book, but come on, she had to be pregnant. And it was always the idea too, because Yelena doesn't have magic, so she had to relearn how to do everything, because she, like, her Soulfinder abilities let us know where everything is at all times and be able to talk to people and do everything. So obviously we're assuming that the baby is the reason that her powers are gone, because it's like a soul sucking baby. That's a good, it's fine. It's just its power is to suck the abilities from other people, so that's what happened to her. But this book, we started to learn about the cartel and the war that was going to happen, because apparently Ixa wanted to invade because of Ben Moon. See, this is, I don't even know what I'm talking about. We have Ben Moon and Owen Moon, they have gone to the commander and they have like taken over his mind, so he's going to try and invade Sissia, and now the Sissians want to invade Ixa, and they are all like controlling their people with the Cura, which is the stuff that like, no, Thurberade. Cura, if you get injected with Cura, you get paralyzed, but if you're injected with Thurberade, that takes the paralysis away, but then you're more susceptible to magical people taking over you. So it's really interesting because like they just, so they're this cartel, they've got taken control of all the magicians and the humans, and everything is just fucked, really. Honestly, like, so much is happening, and then they got Leaf, and then Yelena went to get him, and then like, so bad, like I felt so bad this whole book, because Yelena's got a baby, and they're so worried, and Abbeyleec is so protective, and I love that, and Yelena's like, I'm fine, I can do it, and I'm just like, no you can't, you have a baby to worry about now. And it's so sad, like she gets locked in a prison for a week and she has to eat the prison food that's laced with the poison because the baby might die, and she's got to protect the baby, and it was just like, oh my god, so intense. But this book is great too, because like at the end, I like literally, this ending was so sad, and I'm so glad I had the next book to read like straight away, because literally everything went from worse to worse to worse, because Yelena had been captured and they were injecting her with stuff, and that was making her susceptible to everything. The others were trying to get her out, and then Janko got captured and they read his mind, and then they captured everyone, like literally everyone, and then Abbeyleec got captured at the end, and it was so sad because it was like they were all figuring out about Yelena being pregnant, and all the males were just like, what are you doing? You're gonna hurt your baby, like Abbeyleec is gonna kill us because you're gonna hurt your own baby. And it was just so like, they love her so much and they love Abbeyleec, but it was so like hard in that last bit. But then you find out that Abbeyleec has got magical powers, and that his family, like, because when he was younger, like his brothers were killed and his mother saved him, and then it was crazy because then like 20 years later the parents had like 3 more children, and it's just like, oh my god, you had 7 children in your whole life. You had 7 children and 2 sets of twins, like it's crazy. So he's like he let go of his brother's deaths, and Abbeyleec never knew because he like was protecting his family, but he didn't want any information about what they were doing because like they kicked him out practically, and he's just like, oh fuck you. But he like met his family and was talking to them, and it was just like, what the hell, so sad. But I thought it was interesting that he actually has magic, so he was like, he bloody blew the shit up, and he got them all out, and then he nearly lost control of everything, but it was really good. And you know, we also meet another character called Honora, who was like a spy, you know, who was like an assassin that tried to kill Abbeyleec, and then we find out that she's gonna just like take Abbeyleec's job, so that's gonna be the ultimate thing, that he's gonna retire and be with Yelena and the baby. But it's so sad too, because with Abbeyleec, he's always had the commander first before Yelena. Like, it's just the commander is his person. Like, he just does everything the commander says. He even would have killed Yelena if the commander told him to. He would have killed her, then killed himself, but he would have done it, and that is just terrifying. But in this book, or the next book, no, this book, he finally just decided that Yelena was more important to him, and they had like curse, and it was really weird though, because like he got his mark redone on his chest from the commander, and then he drew a heart, and then Yelena drew a heart, and they just put them together, and they're like, bitch, we're married. And I'm like, that's not how this works. You do realize, so now he walks around going like, here's my wife, before it was my love, but now it's my wife. And I'm like, it's not your wife, because it doesn't work. Like, you can't just like make up your own vows and then just like press blood. And I'm just like, I didn't like it. It was nice that he finally picked Elena and knows that she's the one that he loves, and I'm just like, damn straight, because you know, you love her, but the commander's like, bish, so he wants to kill him, and all this is happening. So this book was all intense and meeting the cartel, and it was just like, oh my god. And then we got to this conclusion, and this book is so long, like literally like nearly, it's like 600 pages, honestly, this book. And there's actually the I Study novella, which takes place between the first trilogy and the second trilogy, so we get to learn more about Ben and Owen and why they wanted to attack everyone and do everything. So that was interesting to have that at the end of the book. And we also got a letter from Marie V. Snyder talking about why she wrote the series and why she kept going with it, which was really, really cool. But I think this concluded really well. There was a lot of like, there was loose ties at the beginning and most of them got tied up, which was really nice. It was really sad for a lot of the book because I'm thinking, how the hell are they going to defeat this cartel? There's 12 of them, but then they got some bombs and shit, and then they had the storm dancers in there and helping, and it was like, it was sad because we got to see Cade and he was still depressed, and I'm just like, Opal should have been with Cade because he was nice, but at least he can be with that glassmaker because that's what they were obviously setting up in her trilogy. So we sort of saw that a bit. So that was a nice loose end tied up. And we also had Helly, who was actually a lesbian character, and they're so sweet because I was just like, yes, because I thought they were going to put her with one of the boys, like one of Abbeyleec's younger brothers, but no, she's going to have a girlfriend, and I loved that little speck of diversity. It was really nice to have that in there. And I wanted to, though, is Janko and Ari to be like lovers. Like literally they're like the best of friends, but are they lovers? Like we never know, but I still think that it would just be beautiful for them to be together because they're just so close and the best of friends, and it just needs to happen, but it was never confirmed, and I'm just so upset about everything because they're just beautiful humans, honestly. But yeah, definitely the most of this book I was freaking out that not everything was gonna go okay and everyone was gonna die, and a few characters did lie. Like I was so mad that Blaine Bloodgoon, or whatever his name is, just had a heart attack. Like we saw him at the beginning of the series and then we didn't see him again, and then he just had a heart attack and died, and I'm like, you were the coolest dude. He was old though, he definitely was old, but he was like the biggest master magician, and it was so cool. And we got Zatora back, so that was pretty interesting, but she was a bit bitchy, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on with you? Like, why are you so bitchy? Like we're trying to help you. But it was really good when they were like getting together and they figured out a way to like kill off all these plants, and they got the councils out and they were blowing up shit, and they won and they killed everyone. And it was great too because like there was a scene where Abbeyleec was gonna go assassinate the commander, and the commander, because the commander was like, after he had got rid of the control, he's like, bish, I'm still gonna attack Sissia, and like Abbeyleec's like, what? So Abbeyleec went to kill him, and then commander was like, oh, you know, I only did that because I was just wanting to see what you do. Yeah, I'm not gonna even invade. And I'm like, well, that's convenient, but who cares? So Abbeyleec retired, and then they had the baby, and it was a little girl called Leon, and I really wish we could see like Abbeyleec with a teenage daughter, but it was nice enough to see him with the baby. But he really was so excited, and it was so nice, like when the baby kicked the first time, and he was so happy. So it was pretty good. Like this whole trilogy took place over obviously like a year because we saw her get pregnant, and then we actually saw the night that it was conceived. That's another thing. There is so much sex in these books, and like it's not like it's described or anything. So that's the thing. When you have a lot of big described sex scenes, there's probably only going to be like 5, but there was literally like 50 times where it was just like, ooh, and then we did it, ooh, then we did it, ooh, then we didn't. I'm like, no one cares. You are pregnant. Like, what is going on? Like, she did it really close up until the baby was gonna get born, and I'm like, that's just cutting it a bit, isn't it? But still, I'm really happy that everyone was so excited about the baby, and then everyone went off back to their homes and had fun, and it was just like the magic school got open again, and Abbeyleec has like the power to control people's minds, which is really cool. But I really love the way this concluded, and I'm just so happy that I've finally finished this trilogy and series because it's just been so long. Like, I think I read Poison Study last year or the year before, I'm not even sure, but it's been going on forever. So there is my review for this trilogy. It's very short, but I really can't even remember what happened, honestly, because I was just trying to get through it. But like, I mean, I remember the key points, but nothing of the minor stuff, and there actually is so much going on. Like, we even got more of Lee's perspective later on, and it was really sad too because Mara got taken from him, and it was like, oh my god, like a lot of shit happens to Leaf in this series, honestly. Like, everyone gets taken from him and he has to try and fight and get them back, but still, I really enjoyed it. All the characters are great, and it was like, I've overall, I gave it 4 stars for each book because still some things bother me with this book, like just with the length and the timing and like just some of the stuff that's written, and it can be a bit boring, but overall this was so much better than the other trilogy, and I'm so happy for that because I don't think I could have gotten through this if it was shit. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you have read all these books, well then like we did a good job, didn't we? But anyway guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you later. Bye!